What I wish I knew before becoming a dentist. Hi, I'm Dr. Avi. I'm a dentist, and in this video, I'm gonna share with you exactly what I wish I knew before I chose to get into dentistry. So let's start at the beginning. So a lot of dentists that you might meet will actually tell you that they were born to be a dentist. They always knew they wanted to be one. You know, maybe their dad was one or their mom or whatever it is. That's not me. Dentistry was not my first choice in a career. A little bit about me. So I hit my growth spurt in the 7th grade and I was like 5'10", and I was pretty athletic and I enjoyed playing sports. So naturally, I wanted to be a basketball player, like the NBA basketball player. I wholeheartedly believed that all 115 pounds of me was destined to play in the NBA. I distinctly remember the card with my parents, bless their souls, where they talked to me about my career and what I wanted to do when I grew up. They were super supportive of this NBA dream of mine, but they also gently wanted to kind of make sure that I picked something that was going to be, I guess, realistic. So they walked me through like a very logical way to kind of come up with what I wanted to do when I grew up. And it started with kind of school. So for me, I was smart, I enjoyed sciences. So my mom kind of said, hey, why don't you look into being like a doctor or a dentist? I was open to this idea, it made sense. So I heard her out, and my uncle was a dentist, and I actually went and shadowed him over a summer. I saw how he was able to just really connect with his patients, help them out. He loved what he was doing. The whole vibe in the office was great. And you could tell that he felt very rewarded and fulfilled with everything that he was doing. And my uncle in general is just like a positive guy, right? Like he puts off this energy where he looks like he's always having a good time. Nothing really stresses him out. He's present with his family. He golfs, like he travels. He does everything that he wants to. And I was like, wow, I want that. So when I was there for that summer shadowing him, he had a dinner party and a bunch of his friends were over. One of his friends is a neurosurgeon, and he was spending some time talking to me. And we were talking about career choice, and he basically told me, you have to figure out, do you want to go to dental school or do you want to go to med school? And so we were talking, and then I asked him, I was like, hey, why aren't you hanging out, drinking, having fun with the rest of your friends? And he told me that night that he was actually on call at the hospital, so he was keeping it tamed. I look across the room and I see my uncle. He's having a blast, time of his life, and I think at that moment I knew that I wanted to be a dentist. So if you kind of move forward and you compare my thoughts of what it meant to be a dentist versus the reality of a dentist, there's a whole bunch of differences. I truly believe that you could have a balanced, stress-free, and fulfilled life as a dentist. When I got my license, this couldn't be farther from the truth. Look, I get it. Like every career that you do, like in the beginning, you have to, there's like a ramp up period, right? Like you have to grow and there's gonna be challenges. But for me in dentistry, this was next level. Like I couldn't even keep a job for 3 months. And the factors that played into it were all out of my control. So what did this do? This led to me not being in the best financial situation after I had just taken on a $500,000 loan. The whole interaction with the patients, I realized in the beginning, I'm having to build their trust, and that was not what I was expecting because of what I had seen my uncle do with his patients. So the reality of a dentist starting off, that life is tough. Fast forward a couple years in my career and I start to get more confidence. I start to offer more procedures to help my patients and everything starts to kind of level out. It's not as bad as I had originally thought. I'm doing more things, I'm helping my patients, I'm starting to feel more fulfilled in my days, and we're going in an upward trajectory. I started offering procedures like implants and Invisalign and stuff like that. I felt like I was really able to just make an impact in a positive way for my patients and really see a difference in their oral health and this greater sense of fulfillment for me. This was the stuff that was lighting me up. However, being in practices where I was the only provider, this led to a lot of stress that I had no idea even existed. Everybody looks to you in the office as being the person to solve their problems. So many things, stuff like instruments breaking, patients are upset, staff calling out, disorganized chaos everywhere. And you're supposed to be the person with the solutions. So you got all this stuff going on. You're supposed to handle all those problems and be present with the patient and do clinical dentistry. You know how crazy that is? Just picture that meme where the dog is sitting in the house and it's on fire. This is fine. So these 4 years being a dentist, I can tell you it is rewarding and definitely stressful. You also have to realize that you cannot do everything. The sooner that you accept that, the better off you will be. In dentistry, you have the ability to do exactly what you want. Once you know what you enjoy doing, you need to do as much of it as you can. So that enjoyment that you're getting of doing the procedures is going to directly translate to your patients. When your patients feel that from you, that is how you get those super fulfilling interactions with them. Honestly, at the end of the day, I learned that dentistry is what you make of it. When you change your mindset and focus on the things that matter to you, everything else will work itself out. So if I had to do it over again, would I? I think I would do it over again, but the one thing that I would change is my expectations going into dentistry. If someone told me, hey, listen, Avi, the start of your career is gonna be rocky, but don't let it get to you. Keep pushing forward and keep learning and keep doing. It's all gonna be fine. That piece of advice would have been nice to know before I started. So in turn, I take the time to make these videos to share it with you so that you can hear my experiences and hear my perspective. And my goal is for it to help you in some way so that you can avoid the mistakes that I made. If you enjoyed this, please drill that like and subscribe button and share this with anyone that you think it may benefit. Thanks.